Okay, hello everyone. I've pre-pulled some cards. Let me just push play. Right now, if you can hear the music, this is original music created by my genius child, who is no longer technically a child, but he is my child. It's Chaos Man. If you're interested, he has a couple samples that are free for people to download if they want to download it. I just want a little bit of atmosphere for this. So this deck is my new deck. I'm super excited about this deck. Just got it in the mail like 2 days ago. Been playing with it, trying to get familiar with it. So it is called the 78. I don't know. It's kind of written on here weird. What does it say in the box? Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so it says 78 Tarot Astral deck. It's Astral, Tarot, and Space is the theme. And this is the book here. The really cool thing about this deck is every single card is done by a different artist, and these are local artists. So it's supporting local artists, and it has an overall theme, but literally every single card is different. So it's kind of like amazing in my opinion. So the two cards that I pulled for the overall energy, we have the Four of Wands, and with that is the High Priestess. So we're starting with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, some people like to call the 1111 Twin Flame card. I didn't really get that vibe though doing the reading here. But this card talks about celebration. It talks about taking a time out from hard work. What just happened? Oh, okay, it's playing the next song. I'm like, what? Yeah, taking a time out from work, from your life, from your worries, from anything that might be bothering you, and just appreciating the moment and enjoying it. And you can see that it looks like there's these two astronaut figures, one male, one female, at least with the suits. That's what it looks like. And they're kind of just like dancing as they're heading towards what looks like a UFO. Now in the book it talks about they're headed home back to their spaceship. Like they were out working, doing all this stuff, and now they're going back to their spaceship, and they're like super glad. But I kind of got some weird vibes looking at this card. Which is kind of appropriate with the High Priestess card coming out with it to further explain it. But when I looked at this card, it looks like the male figure is kind of like contorted a little weird. Like his arm out here looks kind of like weird, and like it's bending at a weird angle. And even like here, it's like, wait a minute. Like, and then this is like kind of like one angle, and then this is like another. Like it just, something looks off about this male character here. So when I kind of look at this, I kind of feel like it's saying, yes, take the time out to enjoy the moment and celebrate. You know, you're alive, you're excited about whatever it is you're going towards, and you're headed towards where the light beams are taking you. But it's also talking about being aware of the company that you keep, and Not necessarily like judging people for being different, but it almost is like they're trying to like blend in and be something that they're not, the male character there. And it's kind of like, well, why would somebody do all that to like be something they're not? It's just, to me, striking. It strikes me as odd that for him, it has weird angles and they don't really line up for him, but on her, the angles look normal and in perspective. Maybe this is talking about joining forces with individuals or entities that are somewhat the same as you but different, like they operate differently, vibrationally, frequency. They're able to kind of manipulate the space that they're in a little bit differently than you. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, it's just being aware. It's okay to take the time out to enjoy the moment, but don't be naive. Pay attention to your surroundings. And the High Priestess is here with it, which every card in this deck, every major arcana card in this deck has a planet in our solar system assigned to it, either a planet or a moon. So the moon is actually assigned to the High Priestess in this deck, which is fitting because the moon always talks about things being hidden and things not being obvious, paying attention to shadows and, you know, trying to determine if they are shadows or if they're something else. Just paying attention to the things that aren't as obvious, which I literally just touched on. And it's also, the moon also talks about secrets that are hidden, secret knowledge, maybe even forbidden knowledge. Only certain individuals have the capacity to understand this knowledge and hold this knowledge and utilize this knowledge. She's in front of a portal. She's in front of a portal here. And her helmet is, she's in a spacesuit, and her helmet is busted open, and you can't tell if the electrical energy is coming from her or being attracted to her. Either way, she's clearly part of some integral power, like not just integral, but the source, and you can kind of see there's a hint of a landscape in the background of some type of ancient big city, but you can't really see it. And then of course this is indicative of being balanced with the light and dark. Again, talking about being aware of your surroundings. Even though her life may be threatened at this time because her helmet, she's exposed, she's not stopping what she's doing. She is dead set on doing whatever it is she's intending to do here in this image. So, and it's funny because these two cards together, and not every single card in this deck, as you can see, because they're all by different artists, have like a color theme or anything like that going on. Don't these two cards look like they have the same color theme? There's a lot of purple in this card here. It's funny because today when I woke up really early, and I was trying to go back to sleep, and I kept seeing this blob of purple. Sometimes when I close my eyes, especially before I'm going to sleep, if I pay attention, I can see different colors and things. And usually it's not one color. This time it was like this blob of purple, which is interesting. And purple, of course, talks about the crown chakra. And the High Priestess, and crown chakra is where your pineal gland is, and your connection to the spirit world, to other densities and dimensions. And the High Priestess talks about trusting your intuition and trusting your ability, and trusting that you're capable of whatever it is that you're setting out to do. And that's why the High Priest, also with the High Priestess being here with the Four of Wands, it's saying it's okay. It's okay to take the time out and enjoy the moment, whatever the moment may be. Let go of your worries, because ultimately you know you're going to be okay. And it's funny because in this card it specifically talks about, in the book, about trusting your intuition, and so does this card. So this is very much talking about trusting your intuition, and enjoying the moment, and trusting that you are absolutely capable of completing whatever mission that you're working so hard to complete. You can still enjoy the moment and get the job done. All work and no play make for a miserable person. And so as I'm listening to the songs here, I'm realizing this music isn't going to last throughout the video, so we'll see where that goes. So the next cards that came out, I had two cards that came out together, and we have the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So interestingly enough, these two cards together, this woman's hair is doing some crazy shit. Right? Like, her hair has a mind of her own. So just randomly, this maybe having issues with your hair might be super unruly, maybe you're losing your hair, I don't know, something with hair, specifically, but the cards themselves in this deck, the Eight of Cups talks about moving on from the past, and the cups are things that you're holding on to from the past and that you don't need them anymore, but you're hanging on to them out of familiarity. And she's moving from dark to light. And then this card is talking about the Nine of Swords. Here she's dreaming. Okay. And this card talks about creating your own stress and worry, and it's unnecessary, and realizing that you're the source of your stress because you're worrying over things that haven't even truly been manifested in the 3D. They're just being manifested in your mind. So with these two cards together, I feel like this is saying to let go of this type of energy. Again, trust your intuition, and stop worrying about all the what ifs that might be coming up with this thing that you're stressing about. Something very stressful is going on, but the divine is telling you to chill out and let go and allow. And the card that further explains those two cards is the Nine of Wands in reverse. So ironically enough, this card in the upright talks about the exact same thing that this card talks about in the upright, which is the next card that I pulled. So in the reverse, this is talking about again, letting go. You know, letting go of the things that you've made promises, or you feel like you have obligations, and you and at this time it's saying that it's time to let go of those things, that the only obligation that you should have is to yourself. And if these obligations that you have in your life is causing you stress, well, how is that helpful to anyone? And you're tired. In the upright, this talks about you're exhausted, but you're willing to keep going and keep putting in the effort to fight. And this is saying to stop fighting. Stop fighting whatever it is that you're fighting so hard to hold on to. Stop fighting with yourself about this worrisome situation that isn't even a thing. It could be a thing, but it isn't currently a thing, because the Four of Wands is telling you to stop worrying about the past, stop worrying about the future, and focus on the now and enjoy it. And you can't really enjoy it if you're doing everything you can to move on from the past and struggling to let go of things. And you can't enjoy it if you're stressing yourself out and worrying about things that aren't even real. The only real thing there is now. The past and the present are both ideas. Ideas are a noun, but that doesn't make them real. They're ideas. Ideas become manifest if you constantly are focusing your energy on it. If you're constantly focusing your energy on it, that's exactly what's going to happen. And this card doesn't have any color in it, but both of these cards have the purple theme in it again. Again, talking about your crown chakra. So I didn't even prepare for this. I just decided I'm going to use another deck to further explain if I need further clarification. So I'm just going to use the True Black Tarot because, again, I love this deck. Usually don't like to do this on camera because it sucks up time, but I just need to fill these cards a little bit. Just using some amethyst. So I was using some amethyst. See my amethyst to reiterate this purple theme that kept coming up. Funny thing about the purple theme that kept coming up, I usually have a pink highlighter, and I like to go through when I get new decks to read what the artist's intent were for the cards, and then for me to look at the cards and see where it goes, just to get familiar with the deck. And I could not find my pink highlighter. Guess what color highlighter I could find? Go ahead, guess. Purple. That was the only highlighter laying out, so I was like, okay, purple it is. So let me just shuffle. These super quick. Alright, so just get back. Alright, so please, what is stressing this person out here in these cards here? What needs to be let go? What energy is essentially blocking growth here, movement? Please tell me more about the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Wands in reverse. Please, just one card, please. The Knight of Cups, which is this card. Okay. So the Knight of Cups is here twice. So the Knight of Cups is all romance and doesn't think before he dives in, and is you know, wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very kind of flamboyant, which it talks about in this card. They use that word, flamboyant. So I feel like the worry and has to do with this lover boy type of energy. I feel like this is talking about like whatever your ideas or notions are about what love is supposed to look like, or what you've been conditioned to feel love is supposed to be with a romantic partner. And at this time, it's saying to let go of that energy because it's holding you back, it's stressing you out, and you're putting unnecessary energy into it, and it's blocking you from your growth, blocking you from finding your potential soulmate that you can enjoy the moment with. Okay, so then we have the King of Pentacles here. I'll show you this up close. The King of Pentacles. And then to further explain that is the Knight of Cups. So again, like I was saying, this card in the upright is the same as this card. So I keep getting like these opposing themes, which happens a lot. So I feel like when I'm looking at these two cards together, it's talking about like, this is the responsible lover that you might want. The provider, the one that creates his own wealth but is generous with his wealth. this is a hard worker. This is somebody who is constantly working, never gives himself a break. It's his joy, like his work is his joy. This is an honest person. They're giving and fair and compassionate. They have the wealth to be giving. So money isn't their joy, but the work that they do that creates the money is their joy, or the wealth rather. And the Knight of Cups, you know, as with this Knight of Cups, his steed is white, which represents purity. His skin is white, which represents purity. These red things, which to me kind of look like fish, but as I read the card, I don't think this person is in the water. He's somewhere in outer space. It says in the book that this is supposed to represent his cape, and they're his followers. So this is talking about somebody that's generally in the spotlight. Everyone knows who they are, and they're quite aware of what they're capable of doing. They like to look pretty, flamboyant. Like this knight's armor is not going to protect him from anything, but it is quite attractive, right? And here this knight has a rose, and he's offering a rose of love. This knight is offering a cup of some sort with some kind of concoction in it, right? So these two cards, though, are like opposites in their energy, whereas the Knight of Cups is into appearances and could really care less about wealth or abundance, but because he has the love of his peers and his, you know, animals, I guess. I don't know if that's necessarily his peers. He has a lot of things and people that love him, and he loves all of them in return. This person doesn't really worry too much about hard work. What did it say? Hold on. What did it say about the... Let's see. Give your heart to the reins of chance and see where it takes you. They are slow and invitation offering you a chance. Yeah. So knights make offers or have a message, and this is an offer of love, and it's kind of a shallow love, to be honest. But this knight, even though it might be a shallow love, it doesn't mean that his heart isn't in the right place. And this knight, or this king, usually pentacles are very grounded, but this card doesn't look like he's grounded at all. He's floating, but he is very much connected with the earth because he's providing substance to the earth while floating above it. So, you know, this king is taking care of his people and his planet, while this knight is just offering a good time. So it's interesting that they're together. So maybe this is talking about, you know, your ideas of love may be too rigid because or whatever it is that you might be worrying about, you're putting up these boundaries and parameters that aren't necessarily there. Sometimes people are many things at once. Sometimes people are responsible and dependable and generous, and also interested in having a good time, and you know, they're gentle and attentive and loving and caring. Let me just pull another card here. Please tell me more about the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. That's too many cards. That was like 4 cards. I love this song. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so I feel like this is talking about a person, and I feel like this is talking about a masculine person, because both of these figures have a masculine feel to them. And the Ace of Pentacles talks about new abundant beginnings, but it's in the reverse. So this might be talking about somebody that you already know, or that's already around you, or that will be around you soon. But I feel like you're not going to get to this person, you're not going to get to meet this person until you let go of this energy that's holding you back here, because somebody's waiting to offer you a cup of love here, and waiting to offer you an adventure. And at the same time, money is not an issue, or wealth and material things is not an issue for this person. You know, they don't need a new abundant beginning because they are already very abundant. And they're established already. They have people that work for them. So they don't have to necessarily put in a lot of hard work. Even though they do. But this isn't a new thing to them. This is something that they're quite used to, and it's very much ingrained in who they are and what they do. Okay. And then we have the 3 of Cups. So the 3 of Cups here. And then to further explain the 3 of Cups is the 2 of Swords. So when I looked at these 2 cards together, 3 of Cups talks about celebration. Now that's the second time celebration has come up. The 4 of Wands talks about celebrating the moment, celebrating all that you've accomplished and how hard you've worked. You know, appreciate the things that you've done. So this is the celebration of, it looks like, you know, people from your soul tribe. They all have the same star tattoo. They all look similar. They look like twins. And they're on some kind of planet here that's not Earth. There's a lot of red, a lot of yellow, orange. There's some blue in there. So this is a lot of the baser chakras and, you know, like sensual type of energy, primal energy. And it's a celebration, some type of ritual. And then we have the Two of Swords here, which talks about, usually the Two of Swords talks about balance, but this Two of Swords, or usually the Two of Swords talks about making a choice, but this one talks about balance more than it talks about making a choice. And so far, out of this deck, out of the 78 Astro Tarot deck, I laid down 11 cards total, and 6 of those cards had the moon either depicted in it or referenced in the book. So the moon is all about things being hidden, and guess what card ends the reading? The very last card, the moon. So this is all about things that are hidden coming to light, whether it be things that you've come to peace with and realize the things that are holding you back by doing the shadow work and transmuting that energy and moving forward, whether it be your ideas of what a romantic partner is supposed to be, and the roles they're supposed to have and the way they're supposed to look and act and feel. It's coming to peace with the things that and the ideas that you hold that are blocking you from actually progressing and experiencing what it is that you're meant to experience. And here with the people, I feel like this is talking about not only finding a balance, but deciding, the people that, I feel like this is talking about family or close friends that feel like family. Maybe this is with this, needing to let go is talking about, okay, this is what you've known all your life, but that doesn't mean that this is all you need to know. And sometimes you have to let go of things like this or people that you've always known, because they're not going to fit into your life once you go to the light where you need to go. Look how dark this card is. Yeah, they're having a good time, they're partying and everything, but isn't there so much more to life than that? I would say so. And I feel like for a lot of people, it's really hard to let go of people that you've considered to be family, because you feel, I don't remember which card I talked about it, maybe this one, you feel like you have an obligation, or is this one? You feel like you have an obligation to them because they're your family and you love them, but you can love people from a distance. You can love people and not have them in your energy and in your aura, and you don't have to do things that you don't want to do just because that's what you've always done, and you felt like, well, this is what I need to do because this is what we always do, because this is what we do. And with the Two of Swords here, the Two of Swords is talking about not, you haven't made a choice yet. There's no action taking place here. And that's referenced again in these cards. And even in the High Priestess card here, where she's kind of being temporarily, well, I guess it's not really referenced in this card, because even though her life is at risk because her helmet is exposing her to the atmosphere, she's still pushing forward. But this is saying that you can't avoid making this choice any longer because it's at this point detrimental to you. The Two of Swords, she's not moving forward to make a decision in any direction. She's just standing there in a type of purgatory, which honestly, this card looks like purgatory to me. Yeah, let me just pull another card here. Please tell me more about the Three of Cups and the Two of Swords. The Ten of Cups in reverse. Just show you so the Ten of Cups in reverse, I mean the Ten of Cups in the upright is an awesome card. So I feel like this is saying you not making a choice and choosing to keep doing the old things that you used to do out of some type of obligation or familiarity is you're blocking yourself from your Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is happy life, emotionally, abundance, peace, love, joy, not wanting for anything, especially where it's emotions are considered, where your family's considered, where your loved ones are considered. This is the Ten of Cups in the upright talks about the people around you are the people that you've chosen to have around you, and they've chosen you. It's not like you randomly found yourself together because that's the way life made it. And like, you know, okay, like you have a mom and dad and you're born to them. Okay. They're now your family. Okay. Are those the people that you want to have around you? Are those the people that are conducive to your environment to give you the Ten of Cups? I feel like in this case it's saying it's not. Or at least you feel like it's not, because you feel like you aren't getting your Ten of Cups because, well, you're not getting your Ten of Cups because you're not making a choice. And then the next cards we have are two major arcana cards. We have Judgment. And the planet for Judgment is Jupiter. I'm sorry, not Jupiter, Pluto. And does it say the Moon card? Hold on, I need to look at this because the Moon card should be the Moon, but the High Priestess is the Moon. So, oh, it doesn't have a planet. It has Pisces, which is a group of stars. So that's interesting. Well, the planet that's actually shown on here is Jupiter. And oddly enough, I don't think they talk about that in the book, why Jupiter's there. So I'll get back to that. So Judgment, this card talks about souls moving to the light, and as they move further to the light, they become more whole. And you see it's like a skeleton here, and then they seem to be more whole as they keep going there. So, and then well, this Moon card is loaded, so I'll get back to that. So just to talk about Judgment here. First off, Pluto used to be considered a planet, but it is no longer considered a planet. It is considered to be a Kuiper Belt object or a dwarf planet. And the Kuiper Belt is actually, like, we have the astral belt, which separates the inner planets from the outer planets. The Kuiper Belt is surrounding our known solar system, just like the astral belt, but it actually like circles our entire, well, I guess so does the astral belt. Okay, I have to stop this because I don't want no songs on here that are copyrighted, because that's a no-no. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. So anyway, the thing that I thought was interesting about this card when I looked at it, so the Pluto is one of many Kuiper Belt objects that they've discovered, and there's like a whole crap ton of them. Obviously, I don't know if they all have names, but most of them do. So when I looked at this card, I was thinking like the souls and the energy are moving to the outermost point of our known solar system. And I say known solar system because, you know, there's talks about an exoplanet. It's the exo, or planet X rather. Those are exoplanets. Or no, they're not exoplanets. Sorry. Planet X, I think it's affectionately named. It has some other names also, but it's theorized that the reason why we haven't seen it is because its rotation is really, 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 really big, and we only see it every couple thousand years or hundreds of thousands of years. I don't remember the numbers, but does it really matter? We haven't seen it in our lifetimes, and our parents' haven't seen it. You know, from our known civilization. And that's also a theory why all the planets are heating up right now. It's not just Earth that's heating up. It's our entire solar system that's heating up. And that card just had me thinking about that. Because there's so much more to so much more to life than clearly working and having wealth. But never mind that, there's so much more to our solar system than what we know, and there's so much more to our galaxy than what we know, and so much more to our universe than what we know. And this is like your these spirits are free to travel where they want to be what they want to transform into anything they want to. It's a very interesting card. And then we have the Moon card here. And this card, when I first looked at it, honestly, it made me sad. It made me think of somebody that was like shielded from the world, that was left to their own devices to think about what the world is. That's why she's sad and got blood tears, and why the stars are being hung up with strings. Like it's like her imaginary world, but somehow she knew enough to be completely shielded from the sky and the world to still know that they exist, enough to imagine them. Her crown is the cycles of the moon, and of course she has the crescent crown on the front of her head. The moon talks about things being hidden, things not being, you know, you think things are one way, but they're actually another way. Things that aren't, things happening behind the scene. So it's interesting that Jupiter's here. But this talks about, in the card, it talks about the moon is physically represented by the female depicted here. And that's why her skin and hair is so light, because the moon lights up the night, brights up the light. And fun fact about the moon is moon dust is actually filled with crystals, and that is why the moon looks so bright. Even in the day, you can see the moon, because it reflects any light very well, because it's covered in crystals. And crystals, you know, hold a crap ton of energy. What? energy. I didn't even mean energy. I meant information, but I guess it could be energy. Crystals are used in our technology today, in our computers, to hold information, because you can have less material holding a lot more information because it's crystal and the way it's layered. So this again is talking about secret knowledge, deep ancient knowledge, having to do with soul energy, with your intuition, with knowing things without knowing them. Trusting your intuition will allow you to see things that otherwise you won't see, because you'll be stuck in this energy or this energy where you're in an in-between state. And oddly enough, not oddly enough, because this is tarot, these cards came out together, and both of these cards are an in-between state. She's in between coming and going here, of transmuting and releasing and transforming. And here she's in between, well, she's sleeping, but the manifestation is just on the precipice of becoming real. It's in an in-between state, and all of the energy is coming from the physical, as well as the mental and spiritual aspects of this individual. So I'm just going to pull another card. Please tell me more about Judgment and the Moon. Please tell me more about Judgment and the Moon. Oh, it's too many. Please, give me one card. Okay, fine, two. I can deal with two. Two cards. What we got? Are you kidding me? We got the Two of Swords again and the Five of Wands in reverse. Okay. So this again is talking about choosing allowance. Two of Swords is making a choice, and Five of Wands is all about, in the upright, it's all about competition and rivalry and competing with others for your resources and not wanting anybody to take what you have. But it's in the reverse, so this is, accepting things, acceptance and allowance, and I guess that is appropriate here, because in this Judgment card, they are very much accepting their fate, and accepting their fate, they're going to the light. She wants to go to the light, but something's holding her back. The ones that are here in the darker energy are like falling apart, and they're not whole. But as they go to the light, they become whole. And you see, even though this is in the upright, and the Two of Swords and the Two of Swords, these swords are facing downwards, and these ones are facing upwards. Oh, and they're lightsabers. It's like here the swords have been held so long in that position, they're literally breaking apart, and they're completely useless. But yet you still hold yourself in this position. So if this is saying allowance is still not making a choice. Allowance is like allowing something else to make a choice for you. Either way, the truth is going to be shown and revealed to you, because that's what the Moon card is all about, and the Moon card is in the upright. So this is all about transmuting dark energy or denser energies, things that no longer serve you, that you need to release in order to ascend. And acceptance is the easiest way to transmute the energy, because you sitting there nitpicking at it and worrying about it is just going to cause more drama and interference in your life, and it's going to block you from your abundance. It's going to block you from your true love, whatever that may be, whether it be in a person or in activities. But the High Priestess is here. The High Priestess and the Moon is here, as well as Judgment. So you have all the knowledge, whether you realize it or not. The universe literally is inside of you. Everything that you can ever wish to access, you have access to. But you have to trust that you do. And you can't constantly be living your life fighting. I mean, constantly fighting and defending and only being one way and never being open to something is just the same as not allowing yourself to move and grow. And a good way to allow allowance is to stop worrying so damn much and enjoy your life. Enjoy it. It's okay to indulge a little bit, as long as that's not what you're always doing. You gotta find a balance and trust your intuition. So I'm just gonna pull an advice card from the Divination of the Ancients and see what comes up. I think it fits. It's purple, right? Let me get my amethyst. I always have a hard time saying that word, amethyst. I can feel my head pulsating. It's interesting. Normally it's in my hands. These cards are always fun to shuffle because they're big. card do we get? Fire, spontaneity. Okay, fire, passion. Didn't get too many wands out here, which represent, we had 2 wand, now 3 wand cards. So let me just read about that. Fire, fire, fire. Where you at, fire? 56. Alright, so I'll just hold it up. Alright, don't hold back. The fire card tells you to scream and shout and let it all out. This is not the time or the situation to hide what you feel. Say it as it is. Speak your truth. Stand up and be counted. For too long now, you have rolled over and kept quiet. And I feel like that's talking about making the choice that you haven't made. You may think this is the proper way to behave, but it has, in fact, been restricting you. That's what I was talking about. It's holding you back. Your feelings have been quashed along with new ventures that have come your way. Like this one. It's time to release that inner fire and abandon inhibitions that have prevented you from living life to the full. Give yourself permission to say yes. The moment you do, a whole new world will open up, and you will be able to step forward in a blaze of glory. A situation calls for you to speak out, release your fears by doing a fire walk. Connect with the element of fire, become a fire keeper. You can do this literally by meditating with candles, praying by candlelight, or more figuratively by seeking out and enjoying the things that really make you feel alive. Give yourself permission to enjoy yourself. Seize the day. Don't think, just do. Be spontaneous. Again, that's talking about living in the moment, just enjoying it, lavishing it, loving it, not worrying about what happens after or before. And then this goes on to say, in the ancient temple of Athena, temple virgins practice one of the oldest forms of divination, pyromancy, the observation of flames from a sacrificial fire, a candle, or another source of flame, and the interpretation of the shapes that can be seen dancing in the flames. This sacred fire was important to the ancients and revered until pyromancy was classed as forbidden art. Today, many of our houses are built devoid of this natural living flame, which can reveal significant pictures and visions. And then there's a little incantation here. Restrictions lifted. I am free to live the life that's meant for me. Boldly, I now seize each day as opportunity comes my way. So I think that's all I have. And I thank you so much for watching. And I really hope that you got something out of it. And I hope it speaks to something that's going on in your life, and hope it helps, helps you trust yourself to know that you are capable and able to release these things that are holding you back and progress forward, because the only thing that's waiting for you is love, light, and transformation, and secrets that you already know. But once you release the things that are blocking you, you will actually be able to explore them instead of second guessing yourself. And let's not forget that the Four of Wands and the High Priestess together, I mean, this is a combo that's like pretty awesome. Living and enjoying the moment and appreciating everything that you've done to get you to this point, and knowing that you have secret knowledge. See, this High Priestess knows and is aware of their secret knowledge. She's not in denial of it. This is what can happen when you live in the moment. Things become easily understandable to you, and it makes sense. And it will only make sense if you let go of the past and let go of the future and enjoy the now. All right, so thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day, night, lunch, whatever time it is.